So one of you guys sent me a hilarious video clip and I had to share it with everyone. One being because it's kind of funny, and two being because, of course, these liberals out here say that this doesn't happen. What you are about to witness, it's not true, that doesn't happen, you know, the whole nine. Before we get into that, I got another clip that I want to show you guys because there have been some changes that the Trump administration is making to the SNAP program, and let me tell y'all something. This is exactly what I voted for. With that being said, smack that like button and hit that subscribe button if you are new, and let's dive in.
10.
It's been made increasingly more difficult.
The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, is back up and running after the shutdown, but new requirements taking effect next month are changing who can get them and the number of hours they need to work each month to qualify for help. Good evening. I'm Brendan Morano.
And I'm Kelly Finley. The passing of the recent budget bill is implementing new guidelines for those working, those with immigrant status, even veterans. WCIA 3's Tyler Hill is live in our newsroom. Tyler, these changes may catch some off guard. When do they go into effect?
Kelly, it's December 1st. Experts say that's when the clock starts for recipients to submit documentation proving they either work or volunteer at least 80 hours a month. Those participating in certain training or education programs can also qualify for assistance. Illinois Department of Human Services says proof of this and other stipulations will need to be in by February 1st, or people will begin to see their benefits end. I talked to someone who helps people apply for SNAP to better understand all the new details and find out how people should be getting this done. When should people start getting some of that in?
ASAP. Now, start finding your paperwork.
On December 1st, new requirements for SNAP eligibility take effect. The Illinois Department of Human Services says in the past, only adults between 18 and 54 had to work a minimum of 80 hours a month.
Now, 18 to 64-year-olds have to prove that they're working or volunteering or in a program.
IDHS says previously work requirements did not apply to veterans, young adults who grew up in foster care, and people experiencing homelessness. Now they will, with some exceptions.
Because you're a caretaker, because you do have a disability, because you're pregnant, if you don't have anything to submit to them or show them that you meet this exemption, then those benefits are going to be cut off after 3 months.
Refugees, asylees, certain victims of human trafficking, and certain victims of violence and torture are now also no longer eligible.
People, again, running away from dangerous situations, and that was a very small number of people who were getting SNAP benefits through these asylum and refugee programs.
But lawful permanent residents who have been in the U.S. for at least 5 years, certain Cuban and Haitian entrants, and individuals lawfully residing in the United States in accordance with a compact of free association can still apply. Adani Sanchez is the Client Services Coordinator for Champaign County Healthcare Consumers. She says these extra checks will have a negative effect.
A lot of paperwork, and there's going to be a lot of waiting around to see if those exemptions get approved, potentially putting benefits in danger.
IDHS says these new requirements will impact over 340,000 people in the state. They say after 3 months of not working, you will no longer be eligible to receive SNAP benefits. You will then be blocked from receiving them for 3 years. They say you can become eligible to receive benefits again if you prove that you worked the required hours or took part in a training activity for 30 days. Reporting live in the...
Listen, I think that's too lenient. I think it's too lenient. Bro, if you didn't do what you needed to do in the first place, no, you're not hopping back on the program. Because clearly you weren't desperate enough to do it the first time. And from my perspective, I have personally watched people take advantage of the system. I've seen it. I've watched it. My own 2 eyes, you know? So maybe I look at this whole situation a little bit differently than a lot of people do. But yeah, I don't think this is stringent enough. I think we need to put even more constraints on it, right? And like I've said this before, I think you have a year to be on the program. That is it. That is all. Ain't no reapplying, you know, after the year. Nope. You got a year. If you ain't bought a toilet and a ruler and got your poop straight, go to jail. Simple. I think a year is plenty of time to get back on your feet. Now, of course, there's going to be exceptions to the rule, right? Medical situations and whatnot. That ain't what I'm talking about. That kind of stuff is exempt. I'm talking about for able-bodied individuals who are choosing to just sit on their behinds. All right, cool. You got a year. You got 1 year. And if you ain't up on your feet after that year, then, hey, get on up out of here. Sorry. It is what it is. It is what it is. And, you know, here is the clip that I wanted to show you guys that I was sent. And I really wanted to show it to you because a lot of these liberals out here are saying that, well, this doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And all of us are like, yeah, actually it does. And here we have an instance of it. So prepare yourself, ladies and gentlemen. This one might make you a little bit angry, but also it's kind of funny. Check it out.
Continuing coverage now on the aftermath of the federal government shutdown and the new eligibility requirements for food assistance benefits.
Well, if you are what the government calls able-bodied, you could lose access to SNAP. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar telling us what those requirements are and brings us reaction tonight.
Government officials say if you are 18 to 65 years old, you don't have a disability, you don't live with kids under the age of 14, and you don't work at least 20 hours a week, you'll likely lose your SNAP benefits. Some people on SNAP tell me they don't know if they'll have enough money to afford groceries.
That's some bull.
Nelson Scott is on the verge of losing access to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. He is 38, not disabled, doesn't have any kids, doesn't go to school, and doesn't have a job. Those are just some of the reasons he is no longer eligible for SNAP benefits.
How much?
Did you hear that? I don't think y'all heard it. I don't think y'all heard it. We got to run that back. Bro, this is exactly what I am talking about right here.
Access to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. He is 38, not disabled, doesn't have any kids, doesn't go to school, and doesn't have a job.
38 years old, perfectly fine. He's a perfectly fine individual. No disabilities whatsoever. 38, right? No kids, no dependents to take care of. And he's choosing to not have a job. And so instead of getting a job, he's living off government assistance. Now, if you listen to these liberals out here, they would tell you, no, that don't happen. Everybody's working. No, they ain't. You just heard it right here. This ain't even an interview that I did. This from the news. I'm actually surprised that they posted this. Like, bro, what? Like, what in the world would make you think posting a video of a man admitting, yeah, I'm able-bodied, I don't have any kids, I'm only 38, I'm not like 92, you know, I'm able-bodied, but I don't want to work. Like, what made you think posting this like was going to be a great idea? I don't know, man. Jeez Louise, that is wild. But hey, if you wanted to prove the president right, well then here we go. But this is the type of stuff where I'm just like, yeah, the rules aren't strict enough. They aren't. People like this shouldn't get any type of government assistance whatsoever. None. No Section 8, no SNAP program, no none of that. None of it. Zero. You are perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Get out and work. Go get what do you say off of Friday, the movie Friday? Get you a job. You know, this stuff is ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm shocked that they posted. I'm still shocked. Like, this is crazy.
Doesn't have a job. Those are just some of the reasons he is no longer eligible for SNAP benefits. How much did SNAP help you?
It helped me a lot. I get $292 a month.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture crackdown is led by President Trump, who signed the One Big Beautiful Bill into law in July. The government shutdown stalled the November 1st deadline for implementation. However, these changes are still coming up.
We help.
Signe Anderson is a senior director of nutrition advocacy with the Tennessee Justice Center.
Because of rules like this, we can see individuals that are going to be forced to skip meals.
She points out senior citizens and children between the age of 15 and 18 will be most impacted. Rick Williams is a conservative political analyst.
A 15 or 16-year-old can take care of themselves at home while you go work. There's no reason you can't be working. There are plenty of jobs out there.
Scott tells me
100%. 100%. Having a 15-year-old kid at your house is no excuse to not go to work. Zero. As a matter of fact, it's more of an excuse to go and work because that kid needs to eat. You know, whatever happened to like taking pride in not, taking care of your family, but also being ashamed of needing government assistance? Can we make shame great again? Because I feel like it is absent from society because people just want to be nice and make mother lovers feel good. Like, no, bro, you should be ashamed of yourself as an able-bodied individual living off of government assistance. Now, if you're disabled, that's a completely different story. I want to make that clear because I know somebody's going to say something about this person is actually disabled or whatever else. I am not talking about people who are genuinely disabled and cannot work. All right? I want to make that clear. So if y'all see any comments that's talking about that, let them know that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about people who can genuinely, I'm not talking about people who can't genuinely go out and work. Not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about these able-bodied mother lovers like the guy you saw earlier who are able to go out and work and are choosing not to do so. Or some of these folks out here who are having kid after kid after kid after kid and they couldn't even afford the first kid. Like, no, bro. No. The free ride is over. The government is not your baby daddy. Go get that money. Go get them groceries from your baby's father. Not the taxpayers, right? Because I should rephrase that because it's not the government. It's we, the taxpayers, that are actually paying this. It's coming out of our pockets. So yeah, nah. People, I think these chicks that be out here having kid after kid after kid, along with the fellas too, because we're not going to absolve the men from responsibility as well. But these chicks that be having kid after kid after kid, they all need to go to jail. Send them all to jail. All to jail. It's getting ridiculous out here. You having like one kid, all right, cool, whatever. Not going to say I agree with it, but stuff happens. You know what I mean? Stuff happens. You got your cheeks clapped by accident, whatever. You know, but you had a second kid after you couldn't afford the first one, and then you went back and had a third and a fourth. Like, no. We ain't doing that. Go to jail. Go sit in a box. We're taking care of your children already anyway via taxpayer assistance. So we might as well just take care of them ourselves while you go sit in the box. At least you ain't having no more. Yeah, see, that's why I can't be president, bro. Bro, man, and I'll be way too harsh. Way too. This entire country would hate me. But let me tell you something. Everybody be on. Everybody be straight. Things will get put into place for sure. At least for 4 years while I'm president. Now after that, I'm getting kicked off the island. I know for sure. They gonna make me walk the plank.
As a convicted felon, getting a job isn't easy.
I will get one if y'all give me one. Y'all be felony friendly and hire us.
There's plenty of places that'll hire felons.
The Tennessee Department of Human Services still hasn't answered me when the new changes will be implemented. We will keep you updated if we hear back. Reporting in.
There's plenty of places that will hire you as a felon. That's a lie. Is it going to be the most glamorous job ever? Probably not. No. You know what I'm saying? But that's your fault. That's the decision that you made. That's the bed you made, so you must lie in it. All right? Having a felony is no excuse to not be out there working. Having a 15-year-old at home is no excuse to not be out here working. No excuse whatsoever. Get a job and get off your lazy butt. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is crazy. Crazy, man. But y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions about all of this. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Why or why not? Let me know. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. Oh, and hit the merch website. Link is in the description. Peace.